Hiya, welcome to GGKCS, the podcast slash FlossTube for fans of all things knitting, cross-stitching, geeky. I'm Cece. My pronouns are they, them, and I'm so glad you're here today. That's pumpkin. That's pink. And it is Friday the 31st of January, 2025. 57 gazillion years happened in January. This is technically the February episode. It just worked with my schedule better to record it today. I'd like to say a big welcome back. Love y'all to all returning viewers. Big hiya to any new viewers. Thanks for giving us a shot. Hope you enjoy the show. I've worked on a lot of things in January, so I have progress to show you. It might not be a lot of progress on one project, but it is progress in the overall. So with that, let's go ahead and get started. And now it's time to talk about all the knitting that I accomplished since I saw y'all last. This is my second preemie blanket that I'm knitting. Obviously, these take a lot longer than the preemie hats that I used to knit, but there's just not need for them. Everybody is overwhelmed with the quantity. So I switched over and I am doing blankets instead. This is on US 6 4mm needles. I'll put the yarn in the show notes at ggkcs.com. And I'm getting really close to being done with this one. So these are all fingering weights held double. And it's just a pattern that I came up with. I did an I-cord cast on, and it's garter stitch in the middle with a three-stitch I-cord on the edges, and then I'll do an I-cord bind off at the end. So I just realized I need to update the yarns because I had to add some more yarns because there was not enough, I didn't have enough yardage. I was running out. My watch is telling me all kinds of things. Okay. And then next up is Dammy's belated Christmas socks, but I got distracted. I asked them if it was okay if I got distracted. Okay, so these are my French vanilla cappuccino sock pattern that you can get at javapearldesigns.com on US 1.5, 2.5 mil needles, and the yarn is Emma's Yarn Practically Perfect Sock in the group Hug colorway. So it's gray with all these little pops of color. But that's more true to the color. So I have started the second one. But I said, Dammy, do you mind if I get distracted on your socks? This yarn was a gift from our friend Caitlin, and Dammy's just not really knitting these days. So I told them I would knit socks for them out of it. So we knew it was going to be after Christmas because I was doing the Advent yarn and all of that. But I realized that my shorty fingerless mitts that I have knit, goodness, I don't know how many pairs of, for me and for other people. The couple of pairs that I have for myself were starting to get kind of worn out. So I was like, let's cast on some new ones. So this is just a pattern that I've put together. But I am using, see, didn't even get this in the show notes yet. US 3's 3.25 mil needles, and I'm using this beautiful Malabrigo sock yarn it's the Malabrigo Metamorphosis sock yarn in the colorway Amelie, which was a gift from my friend Sarah. And I was going to do socks out of it, but then I realized it doesn't have any nylon. And I've done socks before with no nylon, and they end up with holes in them very quickly. So I was like, let's try something else. So as you can see, this yarn is like kind of a gradient. I started in the middle. Here was the first one. Here's the second one. Sorry, Pumpkin wanted to be part of things and was shaking the camera. I am just going to knit as many mitts as I can out of this because I can just make them mix and match. It's like grab 2 to wear, you know? So, yeah. So I just finished the second mitt last night. So I will cast on the third mitt today. So, that is everything that I have been knitting. But I've been doing lots of the cross stitch. So why don't we move on to the next segment? And now it's time for FlossTube. I have a lot to show you. So I am in I'm doing a challenge. Back off, baby. You're going to shake the camera again. Thank you. I am doing a challenge with a group of friends, and I'm trying to whip down. I don't have near as many whips as a lot of people, but just for my own sanity, I'm trying to whip down. So this challenge has been really great because I've touched every single one of my active whips this month. I forgot to say in the last segment, those fingerless mitts were my second FO of the year. I'm about to show you my first one. So it's been really, really great to make, even a small amount of progress on a project. So my first FO of the year, the pattern is Coffee Because Murder is Illegal by Notorious Needle. This is the fabric is a Live and Die LA 14 count Ada bag. It's a tote bag in the Aurora Borealis colorway. And I converted the pattern to silk because I could. So I used Stitch Me Silk Truffle, Needlepoint Silk Hot Pink, and Trinway Silk Sterling Silver. This was my birthday project. I started this on October the 4th of last year. I finished this on the 18th of January. It took me 16 days to stitch this. I did not iron it. I'm sorry. Here is my finish. So you can see the beautiful dye. And then the front portion is Ada fabric. So Coffee Because Murder is Illegal. I don't intend to use this as a tote bag. It's going to be a display item. I do need to iron it though before I take a picture because you can see my Nerd Hoop outline. But I love it so much. This bag has been sitting in my stash from, oh gosh, I don't even remember when. We got it in the Black Needle Society box. It might have been 3 years ago, maybe. I don't even know. But I'm so glad that I decided to stitch something on it, and I just love how it turned out. So, yay. So there is my first FO of the year. Okay, next. And I was going to pull up so I can tell y'all, because everything I'm working on, I've got in Pattern Keeper. So I was going to tell y'all my percentages on everything. So first up, we haven't seen this one in a while, y'all. Are you ready for this? Edinburgh Castle by Terra Luna Stitchery. And I'm using the called for DMCs, and it's on the 25 count easy grid, easy something. I can't remember. I'm really curious to look at this number compared to what was last in my notes. Okay, I went over by, I completed a little bit over 1% since I worked on this last. So obviously you're not gonna be able to see everything because it's a massive piece. And so I finished like the whole top row of pages, and I'm doing the second row of pages. But you can see there's fabric and such underneath there. So this is slowed down quite a bit. When I stopped, I got burned out on it because I think I stitched on it every single day for like 2 years, and I got really burned out on it. And I'm doing this 10 stitch, 2 strands over 1 10 stitch, which if you don't know what that is, it's doing only one leg of the X. So I do the one leg and I don't cross it. But yeah, it's getting to be very confetti heavy because of the castle. So sometimes there's 30, 40 colors in one 100 stitch square, 110 by 10 square. So it takes longer than like all of this up here where it was like 2 different shades of blue. So I don't even know when this was that I last showed this, but I was at 43.239%. Oh no, I lied. I haven't gone up 1%. I've gone up like 0.12%. Anyway, so there's 265,824 stitches in this project. I have stitched 115,240, which is 43.352% complete, and I've completed 22 of the 60 pages. Oops. No, don't do that. Okay. I have to have a separate little sticky note for Edinburgh Castle because the designer did not put in stitches for the white, and I am stitching the white. So I have a little sticky note that I have figured out how many white stitches there are, or actually how many stitches there are in the whole project, and then I put like the total and how many white stitches I've stitched and add those together and then divide them to get the percentages. So, okay. I'm sorry for all the reaching. I'm not really sorry, but you know what I mean. All my cross stitch, except for Edinburgh Castle, was in my ottoman, but all my other cross stitches over here in my, that's not the right project, is over here in my bag. Let's see if this one is. I think it might be this one. Yes. Okay. Yeah, this is one of the project bags we got in the nice list from the Needle Society. I am stitching Oh Dear by Satsuma Street. This is going to be Dammy's Christmas stocking. It's on 16 count black pearl Aida from Steel City Stitchers, and I'm using the called for DMC. So I'm working on the antlers. I think I told y'all last month I had to rip out a bunch of the antlers, but I have been able to start getting it back in. I am currently at 21.23% done. So I am making progress on that one. And once I finish Dammy's, then I'll stitch mine, then I'll stitch pinks, then I'll stitch pumpkins. And they're all Satsuma Street ones. Okay, let's see what's after that. Gilmore-isms, which I believe is in this bag. No. I think it's in this bag. Okay, I am doing Gilmore-isms by Forbidden Fiber Co. I'm using 16 count Casablanca Aida Zweigart from Forbidden Fiber Co. And I'm using the called for Forbidden Fiber Co. floss. You can't really see much of anything. I've completed some of this already, but it's, let's see what percentage I'm at. I'm at 46.4% done with this, which is exactly 5,300 stitches. So, but this, I've finished, let's see if I can pull up the mock-up. I've done Cat Kirk. I've done, can't remember what that one says, but it's something with the pasta and wine. For some reason, it's because it's back stitch and Pattern Keeper doesn't pick up the back stitch. Let me see if it will let me open the PDF. There we go. Okay. So I've done Cat Kirk. He's smart. He knows things. I did. He said my magic risotto was fine. I've done 1,000 Yellow Daisies. I've done the Rocket Ship. I've done Williams Hardware. I've done Scorpio. You will meet an annoying woman today. Give her coffee and she'll go away. And this one, don't chew on my slippers. No. This one is going to say I'm a big fat flincher. And then I still have Rory is going to Yale. I will always love you. The Puffs Pledge, the Devil Egging Jess's Car, The Deer Hit Me, and He's Sleeping with the Zucchini. So I'm making progress on that one. You cannot have my slippers. She's like, quit talking to the people in your phone and talk to me. I have. We've been on walks and all kinds of things. Okay, and then the next one is going to be this one. This is, I've got a picture of it right here. This is Move Forward in Love by Modern Folk Embroidery. I'm not doing it on this color fabric. I'll show you in just a minute. But I have done the top border, this side, and I think I'm like right around here. So I just need to finish this side of the border. And then what I'm going to do is get the outline in and stitch the, I can't remember if I'm supposed to stitch the words first or I'll have to ask my friends again. There's something, because it's white words, that either, I can't remember if you stitch the white words first and then do the other color, or stitch the other color and do the words last. It makes it better. It's like, it's just a thing of like how it looks. So I mean, it's not that big a deal, but I would like the words to stand out because I do really, really like them. Okay, so this is on Fortnite Fabric 16 count Ada in the hue colorway, and I'm using the called for DMC floss, other than I changed the border to Threadworks Bradley's balloons. So you can see quite a lot of what I've done. So yes, I need to finish up here and this side, and then I'll have the center. I am sitting at 47.75% complete, but when I finish this border, this, like the flag, I think that, I mean, I need to figure out for the words, but I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to outline each color and then use it for challenge stitching at the Downton Abbey retreat, that the virtual retreat with the Black Needle Society. So that way I don't have to look at the pattern as much. So there is that one. There's so many of these that are really close to being halfway done, which is really, really exciting. Okay, after that one is the one that I thought was a while ago, and it picked up the wrong one. Where'd it go? This one. This is one of my favorite project bags with Lorelei and Rory. And it's a lifestyle, it's a religion. So this is, oops, go back. This is Winter in Stars Hollow by Katie Landis of the Black Needle Society. And I'm doing it on 18 count white Ada using the called for DMC, and I'm using the color conversion by Forbidden Fiber Co. for the fancy flosses. So here is what it looks like completed. You'll see that I've done above the roof of the house. I've done over here, and I'm over here, and I'm working on Lane. And then I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the words. No, I'm going to do the light post and the wreath, and then I'm going to do the words, and then I'm going to do the top of the house, and I'm going to do the rest of the house, and then I'm going to do the ice skating rink, and then I'm going to do Luke and Lorelei very last. And I am doing this all as one piece. Here is I just happen to have spring sitting in here. I could maybe show you. Hold on, let's see here. So I have finished, I'm doing this all as one piece with the other ones. So I have finished, you're not going to be able to see everything because of how I have it in the Nurge hoop. But, so there is, that one is spring. And then we come across to summer. And then we come across to autumn, which is the very first one. And autumn ends right here. So everything from right here over is winter. And I am sitting at another really close to 50%, 45.45% done. So, yeah, this is another one that I really want to get finished because I want to be able to display it. And I'm really excited that I decided to do it all as one piece because I've seen the fully framed finish from the Black Needle Society of this, and they did it all as one piece, and it is gorgeous. So I'm really, really excited to work on that one. Had to stop for a water break. Next up is a Taylor Swift inspired piece. It is the lyrics that are actually on my shirt. I cry a lot, but I am so productive. It's an art. I actually also have a hat that says the same thing. So I am doing this on a piece of leftover fabric. I can't remember what I did on this fabric previously, but it is Fiber on a Whim 16 count Aida in the Presenting Lorelei Gilmore colorway. And I'll put the flosses in the show notes. I need to change one of them because I went to stitch with it and it was so light on this fabric that it just was not showing up. So the border is completely done. This says I cry a lot. And that says, but and I'm working on the M, and it's got hearts up here. And then it does so productive. And then in these letters again, it's an art. So I am sitting, I'm over 50% on this one. I am at 54.85% done with that. And then I do have another Taylor Swift music lyric one, but I'm just trying to decide if I want to, be like, when I finish this one, I can start the other one, or if I want to, maybe finish another one besides this, so that I have two finishes before I start that other one, because I want to display them together as a set. Okay, and the final project that I have worked on this month is Jack's Stamp Collection by Katie Landis of the Black Needle Society. I'm using Jude Design 18 count Zweigart Aida in Witchy Pink, and I'm using mostly the called for DMC. There was a few that I don't know, 3 or so that I had to substitute because I didn't have the colors. So let me put this behind it so you can actually see. So I'm doing this one strand over one. So there's border edge here. It's like a filigree, and it says Jack's. I did outline stamp because I didn't feel like you could read it very well. I am in love with these collection letters. In love. They're like candy corn, and I love it. So I have been right over here, just done a few stitches for a stamp. What I did was, if I do 150-ish stitches a week, I will have this finished by Halloween 2026. However, I told you I was doing this challenge with some friends, and what I did was I assigned Jacks to everyone, so that if no matter what got called, person or number, it's a very, I'm not going to explain it all. Anyway, we have to do 180 stitches on whatever project for whatever for certain things. So I am using this, and so I'm getting in 180-ish stitches a week instead of 150-ish. So I might finish this a little bit early. But I am currently at 13.62%. So I am making progress, especially since I just started that on, I think it was the beginning of November. So just after Halloween, because I wanted to finish Santa stamp collection, which I have shipped to my bestie with fabric, and she's going to make me this beautiful finished piece because I don't have a sewing machine or the knowledge needed to do it. So she's going to, she graciously agreed to do it for me. Okay, that was like almost 20 minutes of cross stitch. But, it is what it is. So I'm going to drink some more water, and then we're going to move on to the next segment. And now it's time for our favorite part of the show, yummies. What are yummies? Yummies are our current favorite things, things we like, things we want to talk about, yummies. If you're newer here, it sounds like I'm talking about myself as more than one person, which is not the case. But my adult kid used to do this with me. We started back in 2012. No, yes, 2012, when they were 12 years old. And yeah, that's right, 2012. And so I do it just myself now, but like some of those things are so ingrained that I say we. I mean, I guess I could include Pink and Pumpkin, who is now asleep. Hopefully he's not going to get up and shake the camera anymore. But yeah, that's why it's just ingrained. So first thing I wanted to say in Yummies is tomorrow, Saturday, the 1st of February. How is it already going to be February? Books with Black Needle Society book club is tomorrow at, I think it's 2:00 my time. Yes, 2:00 my time. And we're going to be discussing Nevermore, The Trials of Morrigan Crow by Jessica Townsend. And it's a really, really good book. I listened to it originally, but I've read more of the series and I don't want to accidentally spoil tomorrow. So I'm in the midst of rereading it for tomorrow. I put together questions today because I'm going to be the one that's leading it tomorrow. And then there's 2 more books currently in the series. And then the 4th book is supposed to release in June. Hopefully it will. Sorry. The date has been pushed back a couple of times, which is a little frustrating, but we'll get it. So if you've read it, come join us tomorrow. There's a Facebook group, Books with BNS. Second is my new Luke's Diner baseball cap. It's like the logo. So at my office, we did an optional Secret Santa, and my person got me some hot chocolate and a Taylor Swift F the Patriarchy keychain, and I feel like there was something else in there too. I can't think what it is at the moment, but they had ordered this and it hadn't come in. And so they printed out a picture of it and put it in there. So when I got back to the office after the Christmas holidays, this was waiting for me and I love it. So Luke's. And my final thing, Onyx Storm. I'm not going to spoil. This is the 3rd book in the series, in the 4th Wing series by Rebecca Yarros. Look at the sprayed edges. My other 2 don't have sprayed edges, and it's black. And it's kind of on the bottom there. Take that off. On the actual spine is dragon. And I bought this one, but I also bought the Kindle so that I could start reading it immediately. So there's a map in the front cover and a map in the back as well. When I finished this, I had a massive book hangover, and everyone I've spoken to who has finished it has said how much of a book hangover they have had as well. My therapist and I spent like 15 minutes talking about it in therapy because we are both fans, and I won't spoil. I'm not going to spoil anything, but if you don't want to hear anything about it, and it's not really a spoiler, I'm just going to tell you at what point that the book was like, oh my effing gosh. Okay, so plug your ears and don't come back until I wave. When you hit chapter 40, from then on, that last third of the book, just remember that. I told my therapist that, and they had started it when we had met a couple weeks ago, and then last week, and then they finished it on Wednesday before our session, and I said, when you hit chapter 40, right? And they were like, yes. Okay, you can come back. Everybody who's plugging their ears, come back. So I finished it in like 3 days. And I want to reread it again, but I had to have some palate cleanser. So I've read some cozy mystery stuff. And then, of course, I'm rereading Nevermore right now for book club tomorrow. So I will get back to it soon to reread it because I know I did not grasp everything. I've seen some really fun clips of Rebecca Yarros speaking on her book tour. There have been some hysterical things. And if you want to know them, they're not. The one that I'm thinking about that is so funny that like I sent it to my therapist as well, and they had their earbuds in because we were in session, but I sent it to them. I was like, it's like 60 seconds. I was like, watch this. And so I couldn't hear it, but I could see their face as they were watching, and I was like, And it was so funny. It was so funny. So it is an adult series. It is not a YA series. It is an adult series, and it is spicy. I would say it's not as spicy as Outlander, but there is spice. So just be aware for your reading preferences of that. But oh my gosh. And it's going to be 2 years for the next book, which we offer such gratitude and grace to Rebecca Yarros because she slammed these first 3 books out of the park in a very, very little time, and she needs to take some time. And I think that is something that's important for all of us with what's going on in the world right now. Mental health is so important. And self-care is so important. So even though I'm sad we have to wait 2 years for the next book, I am even more in love with her writing and who she is as a person because she is taking a break and saying, I need some time. It's the same thing with Simone Biles when the gymnast, was it like 6 years ago? Not the last Winter Olympics, but the ones before, where she pulled out at the end and said, I have to take care of myself. And people raked her over the coals. And I was so impressed with the fact that she did that. There is a really interesting documentary that she's a part of on Netflix. And she talks about all of that. So if you haven't watched that, if you're a gymnastics person or just somebody who's taking care of their mental health and wanting that as an example for yourself, check it out. It's a really good series on Netflix. So okay, I've talked more here than I even thought I was. I was like, what am I going to talk about in Yummies? And then all of a sudden I was like, oh, I know what I'm going to talk about in Yummies. So okay, let's move on to the next segment. With that, we've made it to the end of the show. I did not expect to spend that much time talking about cross-stitch projects, but when I've touched all of my cross-stitch projects, that means there's a lot to talk about. So I want to remind you to stay tuned till after the credits for some pics of Pumpkin and Pink. I'm looking at them right now to tell you about what they are. The first couple, Pumpkin turned 2 last week, and so she got a special bully stick for her birthday. And then I changed Pink and Pumpkin's collars to Valentine's Day collars. Pink's have got hearts on them, and I can't think what else, but hers is a bow tie. And then Pumpkin's has a flower and lips, and I think it says EXO on it. And then just another pic from pumpkin. I was texting with a friend earlier, and uh, I was saying something about pumpkin, and I looked over, and she was just like almost right at me. Like, you talking about me? You talking about me? You talking about me? So anyway, those are after the credits. Let's see. I'll be back with you probably sometime. It should be next week. There was a delay in the January Purple Madness Black Needle Society box because of weather, snow, because of the wildfires, and because a company did not ship an item the way that they were supposed to, the method. And so it got much delayed. And then another package that just floated around the USPS for, I think it was a couple of weeks before it finally showed up. So the Purple Madness boxes are coming out, or they're going to be shipped out if they haven't been shipped out already. But I should get that sometime next week. And so I will do an unboxing of that when I get it. And then I'll be back with you beginning of March. I haven't even looked at the March calendar yet. Let's see, March. It may be like what I'm doing today, and I might record on like the last day of February on the 28th, which is Pink Pearl's birthday. She's gonna be 9 years old. Can you believe it? 9 years old. Yeah. So that's upcoming for me. I am a rep for the Black Needle Society. You can save 5% on everything in their vault with the coupon code JavaPearl5, JAVAPURL, and the number 5. Typically tomorrow they would have the extras from the January box in the vault, because that's what the vault is extras from boxes. But because of the delay in being able to ship out the boxes, they're going to wait until the beginning of March to put the extras into the vault. Yeah. Okay. Like to say a huge thank you to everybody who supports the podcast, no matter how it is you do it. We really are so thankful for our community. And if you are looking for ways to support the podcast, check out our show notes, where there is everything I talked about today at GGKCS.com. So with that, I'm going to tell you goodbye. I hope you have a great February. I hope it is not 57 gazillion years long like January has been. Yeah, but just doing the best we can, and that's all we can do. So, I will, take care of yourself, and happy stitching and crafting and knitting and whatever crafts you want to do. And I will see you again soon. Until then.